Moving on with these definite integrals. When I look at part D, the integral from 5 to 6 of x squared plus 8 dx, I'm going to split that into two integrals. First, the integral from 5 to 6 of x squared dx, and then I'm going to add to that the integral from 5 to 6 of 8 times dx. When I integrate this first one, it's going to become x to the third power when I add 1 divided by 3, and I'll be evaluating that from 5 to 6. Then I'm going to add 8 times x when I integrate this, evaluated from 5 to 6. For the first one, I'm going to do 6 cubed over 3 minus 5 cubed over 3. 6 cubed gives me 216 divided by 3, minus 5 cubed gives me 125 divided by 3. I'm going to add to that 8 times 6 minus 5. When I do this in my calculator, if I take 216 minus 125, that gives me 91 over 3. I'm adding to that 8 times 1. So if I do 91 divided by 3 plus 8, it gives me a final answer of 38.33 repeating. For the final problem in this section, I'm again going to separate things. This is really the integral from negative 3 to 4 of 3 times x squared dx plus 10, the integral of negative 3 to 4 of dx. When I integrate the x squared, I get 3 times x cubed over 3, evaluated from negative 3 to 4. I add to that 10 times x, evaluated from negative 3 to 4. When I go to evaluate the first thing, I get 3 times 4 to the third over 3 minus negative 3 to the third over 3. I'm adding to that 10 times 4 minus a negative 3. These negatives can get a little tricky. Remember that when you square something, a negative becomes positive, but when I cube it, a negative stays a negative. So really here, this becomes 3 times 64 over 3 plus 27 over 3. I'm going to add to that 10 times 4 minus a negative 3 is 7. This 3 and these divided by 3's can all cancel, so this just becomes 64 plus 27, which is 91. I add to that 10 times 7, which is 70. That's how I get my final answer of 161.